So, in pursuit to support Kapila, Kalam program for IP literacy and awareness education for entrepreneurs, we at AAKEN, with the support of our, I think we are good to go now. Wait, yeah. In pursuit to support Kapila, Kalam program for IP literacy and awareness education for entrepreneurs, we at AAKEN, with support of our knowledge partners, Boudhik Ventures, have specially conceptualized today's entrepreneur series, when, why, and how about intellectual property rights. So now the wait is over. I welcome our eighth speaker, Mr. Saurabh Trivedi, to begin the session. Sir, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Nehal, and thank you to all community partners to understand this today's requirement or today's need of IP literacy or awareness. And I'm really thankful that they are going to support this program, and glad to be a part of this session entrepreneur series. So thank you to IPR advising or consulting company to organize this wonderful session. So now I think the topic which we have selected is when, why, and how about intellectual property right. So I'm just setting up the tone for the brief insights about the intellectual property rights, and then exactly we are going to come back real questions when, why, and how about all intellectual property rights. I think whenever we are going to talk about intellectual property rights, there are a couple of things or some common types of IP. All entrepreneurs, all startups, little bit heard about this intellectual property, but they didn't realize what exactly the need of this intellectual property. So the common types of IP, if I'm just giving just a brief, one is a patent. Whenever you have heard something as a technology part, immediately this comes to your mind that you should go ahead and protect your technology under the patent rights. Okay, so patent, whenever you have a new technology in a place, new devices, new hardwares, or you think that this is something novel in the ecosystem, then we should go ahead and file our intellectual property rights under the patents. Okay, another very important type of, I'm just giving you a brief layout, then exactly we can come up with questions when, why, and how. Okay, second is very important type of IP is trademark. Everybody hears about the brand names, how to secure these brand names, what exactly the importance of these brand names. Okay, whenever you have something very unique name, logo, then you should go ahead and protect that trademark brand identity under this intellectual property rights. This is known as a trademark. Okay. The third important thing, when you have a wonderful product where design or aesthetic looks of the product is really important to secure, then you can go ahead and file your design applications. Fourth, I think probably this is very important, a copyright. Okay, whenever we hear somebody is developing some applications, some is going to develop a wonderful website. So we are going to protect under these all things under the copyright applications. Okay, and the last but not the least is geographical indication. I think you have heard whenever we talk about the Pashmina, the territory or geography which came into your mind is Kashmir. Okay. Whenever you talk about the oranges, the territory Nagpur comes immediately to your mind. That is a geographical indication. Whenever somebody, some organization, some group of people is going to protect a very, very important product of that specific territory, and the territory is going to identify at that from that product itself. So that is known as a geographical indication. So these are some common types of IP. I just bring it to your attention just to begin it, this intellectual property rights, what exactly the importance of this is. Okay, so I'm just briefing it out. One is a patent, whenever you have a technology. Whenever you have a unique brand name, go ahead and file your trademark application. When you have a very unique design, looks of the product, go ahead and protect your design application. When you have a wonderful coding, design, website, literary work, artistic work, go ahead and protect your copyright. Okay, and the last but not the least is a geographical indication. When you think your product is really important for defining the geography or just your product is getting some kind of credibility, just to get or enticing the consumers from outside India as well. Then you can go ahead and file your geographical indication. So these are some common types of IP. Now I think we are ready to start the session. Or
Yes, sir. So
yeah.
thank you, Saurabh ji, for setting the right tone and explaining us the different type of IPs. So now I would like to ask, when is the right time for the entrepreneurs to apply for IPR?
Okay, perfect. So whenever I'm going to discuss this very important topic, intellectual property rights, every time I think startups, entrepreneurs, or university students asked me that we don't have anything, sir. So let us know when is the right time just to file this intellectual property. We don't have money to file our intellectual property or to secure our intellectual property. So I'm saying, like, these concepts, when you just thought of to start your entrepreneurial journey, okay, then these kind of ideas or innovative solutions comes when we are going to discuss informally. Okay, whenever we are sitting in the canteen or just chit chat with our friends, or find or thinking about some problems and we find out some solutions. So this is something informal engagements. Whenever we are a group of friends and sort out what is probably the idea which we imagine, but we don't think that we are going to build it. Okay, so whenever you do these kind of interactions, okay, with your peers, with your colleagues, with your school friends, college friends, or whomsoever, okay, and you think that this is an idea, this is a solution, okay, on which I am going to start my entrepreneurial journey. Okay, so immediately once you think that, you have to file your intellectual property, because there are certain reasons for that. Suppose you think of a new technology, okay, and you discuss amongst your friends. You didn't realize that after completing your course curriculum from the university, or maybe this informal engagements are over with your friends, having some gap, but you didn't realize that somebody has filed in your group. They have filed a patent application on the technology which you had discussed last year in the college campus, but you didn't realize. You thought of to do or start your entrepreneurship journey. Okay, you start immediately, and your friend came up that they have intellectual property rights, but you haven't filed it. So either you have to ask him just to give us this intellectual property because this is your idea, but due to you haven't filed that intellectual property, you haven't secured that intellectual property, somebody else has. That is why you are just requiring his support just to build your startup concept. Okay, and this concept you have informally discussed. Okay, and you didn't realize who is going to file the IP, who is the IP contributor. Okay, so when you're just thought of these kind of new innovative ideas, that is the right time to file your intellectual property. Okay, so I'm saying, like, after completing your courses like a BTech, MTech, or whatsoever is course, solutions came to any mind, came to everyone, but yes, we have to find out how to secure it. Okay, because nowadays when I'm talking about this startup ecosystem, there are lots of things or similar kind of ideas are being boggling here and there. Okay, but whenever somebody is having some IP, then we are taking him seriously. Okay, this IP gives us lots of credibility. Okay. That comes, I think, advantages or benefits. I will come later part of my presentation or discussion. But when I'm going to answer this question, when is the right time? Whenever you have an idea in your mind, because there is no requirement of a prototype to present to the intellectual property office. Okay, you have your idea in your mind, you have to make it on a paper and file it in Indian Patent Office, and then exactly you have getting the priority date. Okay, so right time, whenever you thought of a very good solution which you think is very novel and disruptive, and you are going to build a unicorn on your bus.
Okay, so but still there will be people who will say why I should file IPR. It is so expensive. The startups doesn't have money. That is the first thing. And
when this question comes into mind, why intellectual property? Okay, I think I'm just giving one case study. Everybody knows that Micromax or versus Ericsson case. Okay, Micromax built a very good empire, or you say a very good setup in the Indian market. Okay, but they didn't realize that they haven't checked the due diligence, but done the due diligence on their part just to check about the intellectual property. Okay. After setting up all the marketing activities, set up the infra, set up the sales teams, HR, whatsoever, okay, the requirement of the business, they have done a very good business in the Indian market. After develop at a certain level, Ericsson comes into picture and asks that you are infringing my technology. Then they realize that yes, we didn't thought of, we haven't checked even that we are infringing somebody's intellectual property. Okay, so then they realize, and the legal battle, almost I think 5 years approximately, this legal battle in Delhi High Court has been done, and then they are ready to pay the royalties on every product which they are going to manufacture on that technology. They are ready to pay to Ericsson a royalty on each product. So, I'm saying why, because you didn't realize, if you haven't filed your intellectual property, you didn't realize where is the when your competitor or the person who do have some intellectual property came to you, and whatsoever you have built, they are taking in a one shot. Okay, they are going to claim the damages of all their intellectual property. So whenever this question came, and even a wonderful company from Pune, a firm flash or something, I'm not recalling the right name, but a Pune, they have filed IP infringement case on Royal Enfield, which is again, they have a very small setup, but they are ready because they have an intellectual property, and they filed the damages on Royal Enfield. So these are certain case laws where we are discussing why intellectual property. And nowadays, startup required to understand the need of the hour. Okay, because if you just pick up the concept from the US market, European market, or any part of the world, but you didn't realize that might be a Korean company or might be that US company already filed intellectual property in India. But because startups are quite a little bit in a hurry to get some kind of funding in their concept, in their ideas, they didn't realize that they are ready to pay or spend some money on intellectual property. So I'm saying why? Because you understand the one thing, that respect others' intellectual property. It's not about you are not going to file your intellectual property. Might be somebody else is having intellectual property on your concept, on your brand name, but you are infringing them. So if investor is invested in your startup, or you are what you may say, probably reaching a level where your revenue turnovers are quite high, then these companies came to the picture and shut down the business in a one shot. So why? Because you have a unique concept which you thought of. You are going to build your startup at that level, and your brand name is really important. I think very good example, Paytm, PayPal, or they have already filed some kind of legal battles on their brand names. So we have to carefully analyze all of these things, and before setting up our startup journey, and when you appropriately talking that we don't have startup don't have a money. Okay, so I'm saying I just wanted to bring your kind attention that filing a patent application in a patent office just cost 1,600 rupees, 600 rupees. Okay, 1,600. Okay, so filing a patent application on a startup's name. So it's not a very huge amount to invest in. But yes, if you require professional services like drafting of the patent application, doing some kind of prior research, okay, then probably you have to pay as per the expertise of the professional. Okay, might be they are going to charge 10,000, might be they are going to charge 15,000 rupees. But filing the application in a patent office is only 1,600 rupees on a startup certificate. Okay, but if you just wanted to bring on the different large entity, then you have to pay large amount. And the same thing when you want to file a trademark application, it costs you only the 4,500 rupees in a government office. So it's not a very huge amount, and I think a startup should invest these little in investment, or this you can see as a capital, because you are thinking of creating your assets, and which is pretty much required when you are going to purchase a building, that comes under your balance sheet as assets. Okay, so similar kind of things, when you are just investing your intellectual property, that comes under your balance sheet as a assets.
Right.
Might be. I am just failing to recall that name, where somebody is selling their brand name and settle all of their losses, because on the basis of that brand name is having certain values. Even everybody knows about the Kingfisher's brand name. Okay, so they just wanted to sell those assets just to settle all the liabilities. You are investing 1,600 rupees to file the patent application. If all sets well, all goes well, you have to pay the little bit amount to examination of your patent application, which is right thing, because you have to follow the process. Okay, and then if you get the patent, then probably you are just ready to sell your technology, ready to sell your patents to somebody else. If you don't want to build your own product, build your own technology. So this is not only important for the startup entrepreneur, but if you are a student who has done a B Tech or M Tech and having some kind of technical projects in their hand, they can file the patent application on their concepts, so that after a certain period of time, or in their career, or in their what is probably getting more credibility in terms of the jobs, in terms of when they are going to do some R&Ds. Okay, so this enhance their capabilities, that we have filed the patent application. Even we have a student from India, they have filed a couple of patent application, getting a wonderful scholarship. I think 50 or 60% of scholarship in US university, and he settled down there because he has filed the patent application. So when we talk about this startup ecosystem, entrepreneurship, then probably we have to think of this important element, or you can say an important ingredient in your secret sauce or secret recipes. This is a very important thing, or why I already discussed about it.
True, true. So now, sir, once the startup is convinced that yes, the startup registration is also required, the next question will be that how to go about, means where to, what is the process for filing the IPR.
So, Neil, before that, I'm just telling some benefits. Okay, might be a startup thing. Like, what are the benefits? Why is very important? Because there are lots of things where we have to respect others' intellectual property. But yes, what exactly the benefits for this startup is really important. So, one very important benefit is you are getting the power. If you have an intellectual property, okay, you have suppose a patent application, you have one trademark application, you have filed or protect your coding part under the copyright, you have protect your aesthetic looks of your product, then you get the power to eliminate your competitors. Okay, means that anybody wants to enter into the same gamut or same kind of concept, they are ready to launch, but you have the power because you have already filed your intellectual property. You have the trademark certificate in your hand. If somebody is going to replicate or what it is probably presenting that this is my brand, they can't, okay, because you have the power. So IPR gives you power. IPR gives you credibility. Credibility means you heard about the ISO certifications or these kind of certifications whenever we are going to set up some kind of businesses.
Right.
Okay, so if you have IPR, you get the credibility amongst your consumers, amongst your businesses, amongst your investors, advisors. Okay,
Right.
because you have already something which is really important and assets for your business. Okay, so IPR gives you power, credibility. Now another thing, valuation. I already told you about the same, that Kingfisher's brand name is having some value. Even when we talk about the patents portfolio, Google purchased Motorola's patent portfolio, having I think 3.5 billion dollars. I don't have a real figure with me, but I think around 3.5 billion dollars they have purchased the Motorola's patent portfolio. They haven't purchased the hardware of the product. They only purchase the this intellectual property.
Right.
If you have intellectual property, you can license the same. Okay, if somebody wants, you are not ready to whatever is probably ready for the manufacturing of your product, delivering the service of your concepts, then you can license it to other person.
Right.
Whosoever is requiring these kind of things, you are ready to sell. Suppose any company, any factory facing some problems, okay, and solution is built by you. Solution means that this solution you know, and you have filed the intellectual property on this thing. Then I think when you go to that company and ask that you face this problem, I'm having that solution with me. Are you ready to invest? I think probably they are ready to license this.
Right.
And you get the royalties.
Right.
So whenever you have IPR, you get the power, credibility, valuation, license, and the most important thing is enforceability. I think lots of people saying that in India there is no enforceability or something like that. Why you thought of you can do your own process. Like you didn't invest much on this intellectual property. Just do it carefully. Once you write the right set of claims in your patent application, you definitely get this enforceable.
Right.
But if you just what is it, probably your mindset, your requirement is entirely different just for the marketing purpose, then probably I think you are not able to enforce it. Right. So once you're ready to file your intellectual property, you have to carefully do a thorough search. In what is it, probably in this trademark you require a trademark search. In patent you require a prior art search, or there are lots of searches on the basis of your requirement.
Right.
Okay, so I'm coming up again for the question how. Now I think we have covered when, why. Now the last question is how.
Why?
Okay, when you are ready with your concept, okay, you thought of that this is my idea, okay, and I'm ready to file a patent application. Then probably you can take the assistance from a professional who's guiding you all the paperwork, and they are assisting you just to fill up the forms, information as per the prescribed format by the patent offices. They are ready to file your concept.
Right.
Okay. But yes, you have a certain what is probably a blueprint on the paper where you are going to explain this to your professional expert or whom you are going to hire for this input. Apart from that, there are all kind of documentation, all kind of forms are available on intellectual property website. Okay, in India it's ipindia.nic.in. So where you can just go ahead and download the forms, fill up the information as per the required format, and you can submit it. Okay, but when you think that carefully drafting or crafting of your application is required, then you can hire a professional for this thing. Because I think everybody is perfect in their skill set, their knowledge. Okay, but if I am the person who is just giving a medicine to any patient, it's not possible for me because I'm not doctor. Okay. I am an IPR trademark attorney. I'm guiding you on your brand names, how to file it, just to protect your intellectual property. But if I'm guiding somebody else on a prescription of a medicine, that is not the right thing for me. I'm not a knowledgeable person. So how you can just check up all the formats available on IP India website. If you wish to file on US patent, US application, you can check USPTO website. Every jurisdiction is having their own set of patent offices where you can download the forms, required information, pump in, put in all information, file your trademark applications. But yes, these are certain where you thought of to carefully probably follow the deadlines. Okay,
Right.
Whole process entirely depend on the timelines, deadlines. If you don't follow those timelines, suppose if you file a trademark application in India, you have 6 months just to protect from this date to other countries. Perfectly fine. But after 6 months, If you wish to take the same priority date or calculation from the base date, it's not possible. You have to file a new trademark application in different countries.
Right.
So you have to think carefully when you are ready with your ideas, ready with your brand names, ready with your designing part, ready with your website content. Then I think you are ready to file your intellectual property secure.
Right.
So I think I almost answers when, why, and how. So I'm going to ask Neil if there is anybody, or we can open up the platform or something like that.
We can open up the
take it.
platform for the questions. So first question is from me only, and I have put there is a new venture. So of course the logo is there. So the trademark. When we come to a trademark, how a entrepreneur will decide which class to go? Because I think there are more than 40, around 45 class, and something like word mark and logo mark. So if you can explain this for
Sure. The thing is that whenever an entrepreneur or a startup think of a wonderful design or logo, okay, or a wonderful word mark or the trade name, okay, then probably they can take assistance from government website as well. ipindia.nic.in government website is there, where you can put up 3 of your alphabets, or just share the information, and there's a click button where you can search. Okay, and which class do you want to file? If you just file it in some kind of manufacturing consulting service, because you decide at the time of submitting the application to MCA, you decide that I'm going to do this kind of business under this name, under this brand name, under this company. Okay, so same kind of thing you have to put in your search portals. Even we have developed a wonderful tool, boudhiktech.com, where if you just go ahead and file a new trademark application, there is a tab which is directly guide you and tell you the process how to search your trademark application.
right.
Okay. So that is something entirely for the startups, and this is free of cost, where you can just log in boudhiktech.com and search, and click on the tab new trademark filing, and then under that you can search which class is relevant for you. You just enter your keywords, like you just wanted to manufacture a product, their class comes.
Okay. Can I type this for everybody's help? What which tool you have mentioned, or
Boudhiktech.com. Boudhiktech.com.
Boudhik
Yeah.
tech.com.
Boudhiktech. Absolutely.
Okay, so everybody can go on this website or the tool, and they can do the search by themselves.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
there is one more question, that there are people that they are not aware of this IPR, so they have created their brand. Okay, and then they when they go to a professional or a IPR attorney, then they realize that this is conflicting. Okay, but their business is continued since more than a year or something. So how you handle those kind of cases?
The thing is that if you have already used your brand names, okay, and you didn't realize, and at the very initial stage you haven't filed the intellectual property or filed your trademark application, then whenever you think that this is the right time, after 1 year, we know that already somebody is using the brand, similar kind of brand. Okay, but yes, your usage is before that person came into market.
Right.
Then probably we are going to submit that application, which is recommended by our side, that you have mentioned, or we have to file some kind of affidavit where we are going to say that we are using this brand name from particular date onwards. Okay, right. So this is something where we are request you to give us this registered trademark or registration of this brand name to us. Right. Okay, right. Because we have already used it, or we are getting some kind of credibility, we have a business reputation, then probably we have to just what you say, probably we are doing our best and prepare the paperwork, submit it for the examiner's review, or once examiner is understanding these kind of things, or the competitor is not being into that range, then probably we can get that trademark. So this is the process where we are filing as a before usage of this trademark.
Okay. So generally, people are telling that trademark registration takes long time. But I have heard that once you are into startup, means you register under Startup India thing, there is a fast track scheme. So can you just explain that quickly?
Uh, the thing is that whenever we talk about this trademark application, this may take almost 6 months to 12 months. Okay, where you are getting some kind of examiner's report and you have to revert it within a time which is 1 month. And if you reverted it under the time, that probably they are considered and fast track your process. Okay, for the this fast track process is for patent applications.
Right.
Okay, where you can submit the request for expedite the examination process. If you just wanted to apply as a regular process, it will take almost 4 to 5 years, 48 months for a regular process that where your applications are going to examine. But yes, if you just wanted to expedite, maybe within 6 months, you can just submit your expedite request and they are going to consider, but you have to pay the double fees.
Right.
Okay, the examination fees are quite double, and then you are track or fast track your patent application. But in the trademark process, nowadays, generally, I think we have filed applications and we get the application grant within 30 days. So there is nothing like delaying the processes. But yes, everything you have to file carefully. So that is why there are requirement of a professional, okay, who guide you all the processes and the timelines.
Okay, so one more important question is, what are the process to file a case against someone who use a logo similar to your startup business, but with different color? Is there any color specification also?
Yes, absolutely. The color specification schemes would be there. Okay, but the thing is that when you file your logo, then probably you are taking the what you can say probably the rights on the appropriate designing. Okay, you are not going to challenge under the colors. You are not going to say that I have to file a black and white, because we recommend our clients just to file under the black and white. Okay, because it gives a clear identity. Otherwise, every color you are going to change, you have to file a new application. So that is another thing. But when somebody taken that logo and they just trying to play with the colors, then probably we are ready to file this suit, because we are getting some credibility on the brand name. Okay. Right. Might be there are some legal complexities coming up that we are using in a different colors and you are using in a black and white color. So these kind of arguments can be taken up to the court level or the judicial level. Okay. Right. But there is nothing to play with this. What is probably trademark offices? They have done their work. Okay. Right. They are placing the trademark, but once the trademark has been registered, they are going to advertise or mention in a journal that if somebody is having any objections on the same, they are coming up. Okay, because the other company who is just using the different colors also, they haven't filed a trademark application. Right. If they have filed, the situation change. Then we have to do a trademark watch. Trademark watch means that somebody's similar kind of mark has been published in the journal. We have to immediately send some kind of objection. Okay, so that we have what is probably fulfill process on our part. Okay, suppose this Boudhik venture in a different colors is being used by other people, then probably I am having the right because I have filed and get the trademark registered on my brand name. Okay, they haven't filed. If they are going to file, I am carefully observing who is going to file in my class in the name of Boudhik, or even in examination report, this Boudhik Ventures comes under the citation or objection mark.
Right, right.
The report. Yeah.
But if we are filing under black and white, there is no harm. Means if we are using in a color, in actual practice we are using in color, but in trademark registry we are filing in black and white, there is no harm. We are protecting all colors.
The thing is that no, it's not like that. You have to carefully file it in all the colors. Okay, if you just thought of like to, I'm going to use in a red and black, yellow and white, or something like that. And black and white is just to what is probably the generalized thing. And I'm going to file the trademark application on image itself.
Right.
Okay. Rightly, it's not being that you are eligible to use any color in your brand name. It's not like that.
Okay.
Because you have filed the application in the black and white, you have to use that decision.
Oh, So this is little tricky for them.
Yeah.
Okay. And you recommend registration of both word mark and logo mark? Like, for example, Boudhik Venture is there. This logo is always people know the Boudhik Ventures logo also and the name also. So
Absolutely.
it has to be combinedly filed or separate Boudhik Ventures and separate logo, or what is a combination generally you?
It's just been depending on the what you say probably your business. Okay, if you just thought of that this brand logo itself is going with this name Boudhik Ventures, then probably I'm ready to file a single application on a logo. Okay, because this alphabets might be in a generic in a nature. Okay, so I'm getting a registration on the pictorial presentation of my logo.
Right, right, right.
Okay, so then probably it's typically depend on. We recommend always just to file two application. One is on word name and another is on logo, because I think both the identities are required at your end. If not, then probably we are ready to file as per your suggestion or as per your requirements.
So, just to reiterate, word
Yeah,
mark, logo mark, identify which are the classes and file under all classes, protect under all classes. So,
absolutely, absolutely.
if it is class 35, means you can take one example and share that in, for example, Boudhik Ventures, how many classes you feel it will come, or you have marked, filed it.
The thing is that whenever we are ready to file, when we file this application on the Boudhik Ventures, we have filed it in the legal services where we are just giving all kind of law firm activities, okay, in a different class. And we filed as a consultancy services in a 35. Yes, we did already, because we don't want that somebody can file in a different class and we are creating some kind of conflicts. No, it's not like that. That is why we have already covered both the classes and filed our trademark application. Apart from that, we didn't thought of maybe this Boudhik venture we are going to use on a product like salt or like a milk bottle. No, it's not like that. That is why it's not required. We carefully identified where we are going to use in next few months. In those classes, we have to file our trademark
So, I
application.
have
So
heard
we have filed on two.
Sachin Tendulkar have registered his name under all classes because he's going to be ambassador or something. So how wise that decision is?
The thing is that because somebody can use as a Sachin Tendulkar as on their products, or they are just preparing infringing products. Okay, and he's not being associated or hired for the same. So that is why he has filed those kind of even I haven't yet, but you told that this is the right thing. Sachin Tendulkar has already filed, so it's quite good that they are protecting their own identity.
Yeah.
Okay, in all the classes, nobody sell the milk on the name of Sachin Tendulkar milk. It's not like that. That is why I think they have secured their identity.
And one more question, which has always come to the tech entrepreneurs for the patents. Should they patent their codes? Because some people say that if you are code means if you are patenting it, your code is in available in the public, like Coca-Cola or Pepsi story, that anybody can. It is available in the entire process is available in the public. So, what is your take on that?
Whenever we are going to distinguish between this coding part, between this technical part, what to do, what kind of IP is required for this kind of concept or the coding part, then probably I'm saying whenever you thought of the application coding, you can go ahead and file a copyright application just to
Okay.
secure your coding part, okay, or your content. Whenever you are delivering a lecture, you just protect your content part. And this is my content.
Okay.
Okay, if you just wanted to file a patent application, there is no relevancy.
Right.
Okay, because patent is entirely for the technology.
Right.
Okay, that is why these common types of IP are always distinguished or differentiating each other from different product set or different services.
Right.
Okay, for the coding part, then definitely we can go ahead and file the copyright application. Apart from that, the thing which you told me about the trade secrets, where you have taken the example of Coca-Cola or different kind of masalas, even you have heard about Maggi masala.
Right.
So if you think that this is a secret sauce, okay, which is if I file the patent application on the secret sauce, this can come after 18 months in a public domain, and everybody knows how to make this Coca-Cola. Okay, similar thing. If you file a copyright application, this has been in general domain. So these kind of secret sources you have to kept with yourself. These are known as a trade secrets, which is not directly comes under this intellectual property. Might be some portion you can file the different sets of application, but this entire concept or the real ingredient you can just keep as a trade secret. You can file some kind of agreements between your employees, between your co-founders, between your partners. Whosoever is going to disclose this trade secret, they are going to bear the losses or the consequences. So trade secret you can keep it with yourself. Do not go ahead and file your intellectual property. That is why we say that everything is not filed as intellectual property. You can something where your things should kept in secret. You can keep it as a trade.
True. And as we have rightly told that trademark means IPR is a great tool for business tool for valuation. So generally, how the valuation is done after 1 or 2 years?
The similar kind of things when somebody is going to present that this is my trademark application, I have created that much of a brand value. Okay, where suppose Boudhik Venture is having a brand identity. Okay, I am selling the franchisees. Okay, if somebody wants to open a law firm in different country or different states, I'm ready to give them a brand name as a Boudhik Ventures. So suppose I have given the 3 states are 3 franchisees having certain value. They are doing the revenue, earning revenue of 1 CR or 2 CR, or suppose they 3 of the companies are doing the 6 CRs or 10 CRs of business. Then probably this brand name is having a value of 10 CR because they are doing the business on this brand value. They are not doing something other than this, because if they just wanted to start their own company without having this brand name, might be they are getting higher revenue, lower revenue, that depending on their choice. But if they have opened this franchisee in Indore, in Nagpur, in Jaipur, and having some, earning some revenues at a huge level, then this brand name is having certain value, which my CA or the valuation partners can put into picture and how much credibility this brand name has been given.
Perfect. Perfect. So, sir, I think all the questions are addressed. And with your kind permission, now we can move to the validity session.
Absolutely. And if there is any question unanswered, or if somebody came up later on some question, I'm happily available to answer, or they can write it to me, connect at boudhikventures.com, and my team or I should answer definitely for these questions.
Sure.
So thank you, Neil. Yeah, please go ahead.
So you will be joining for the last validity sessions. Just a second. So we will be back in 30 seconds.
Sure.